there, viewers. Welcome back to an episode of Dr. Benji FM's Thames FC. I am Dr. Benji FM. It's like I was introducing it for someone else there. Maybe if I go out of frame. Hello! It's me. Oh, it's a bit awkward. But yes, welcome back then. Champions League and League action for you today. And let's introduce you to what you've missed since we last met. So, taking a look at proceedings, you can see there then after the 2-1 defeat to Atletico Madrid, back-to-back wins in the Premier League to get us back on track, I thought. Blackburn, a 3-2 win and a 3-1 win over a decent Sunderland side. We always talk about Sunderland, decent side. It did a good thing there. And then Ajax was a 0-0 draw at Wembley, not ideal. But then we sold out Wembley for the Chelsea game, in which we lost 2-1. So a little awkward on our behalf. Yeah, not our best performance ever. I thought there was going to be a moment where we started to turn the tide. Ben-Hur scored, and much like in recent games, I stuck with the 11 like I did against Atletico. It didn't happen. Maybe we're not strong enough off the bench, and that's part of the problem. Or I should just be bringing on Fiore, Herzog, and the like. But we sort of just battled forward. I thought there was going to be a turn of the tide, but it didn't happen. And Chelsea went out leaders in that one then, and our top of the table, as I'll show you in a moment. But then we bounced back 4-1 win. West Brom, easy work, lovely stuff. Herzog on the score sheet, Ben-Hur at the double, and Miquelina getting himself a goal as well. Which brings us to today then, Ajax and Southampton. And if you take a look at the Premier League table, you can see Chelsea in first position, 27 points, only one defeat to their name. That was against Manchester United in a 4-1 defeat. And we played Southampton today, who are down in 6th, knowing that if they win, they can get themselves back in contention. But we need to keep with the pack and get ourselves another win in the bag. 2 defeats for us so far this season, and disappointingly against Chelsea and Liverpool. 2 sides that you would consider traditionally to be big sides, but Liverpool, as you can see, are struggling in that mid-table area. So, let's introduce you to the team for this first game. Very succinct, Ben. All in one take. That was lovely. Okay, then let's talk through what we're working with. And surprise, surprise, it's the same 11 that I'm playing in every game at the moment, although we've still got that injury to Obranek. Calvo will be in goal then. Furtado, Octaviano, Giovanni, Ericsson, Diallo, Jimenez Huddeldham, Ferreira, Ben-Hur, Mackay one side, Miquelino the other. You can see so far this season, Mackay is having a very good year. 7.46 for him, Manuel Mackay. He's come into the side after last year and had a very good start to his season. You can see 4 goals, 7 assists, very, very good. And Ben-Hur, as you see, is scoring as well. 8 goals in 9. Not the top goal scorer in the league, actually. We should probably talk about that. This chap here, we'll call him Rustam for Chelsea. He so far has got 15 in 10. Ben-Hur-esque numbers. Hopefully he falls off at some point. Okay then, you can see in our group then, after that draw to Ajax, if we take a look at the group in a little more detail, we have 4 points. We are 5 points behind Atletico, who have won every single game, and luckily for us, Porto were beaten by Atletico as well as ourselves. So we now know winning against Ajax and then doing the job again against Porto, we should be all right. But yeah, Atletico Madrid running away with things. This game today, though, massively important. And honestly, when we played them the first time, I don't really know why we didn't win. It was a weird one. We've had a lot of highlightless games recently. That's part of the factor, I think. It's not what you want. It's not what you want. We're favourites for a reason. I'm going to try and big us up here. Go out there and make the difference. Tactically, by the way, attacking fluid. Little change from before. Also, rather than getting stuck in, we're being a little bit more expressive, tighter marking from our defenders, and hopefully that'll do the job. All right then, let's win this, please. We need to. Ajax in their traditional red kit. Of course, we're away at the Amsterdam Arena. A very nice arena, actually. Nice place to be. Never been, but I've heard good things. Did they actually change it to something Cruyff related? I think they did. New background. Probably won't stay like this. It'll probably change again. But I've moved the desk, is what's happened. So whereas I used to look over in that direction, so you can never see the curtains, now you can see the curtain. It's a corner. Ball played in, cleared as far as Furtado. Finds Huddeldham. Oh, it could have been a goal. New game in it, so new surroundings. Ajax are on the charge here, you know. Oh my word, they've got their own Renato. Ball shot in on goal, and Ericsson gets it clear. A little bit nervy. Of course, what we need is Atletico to beat Porto, and so far they are doing. We know if we win this, we go a nice points total away from them. Meaning, if we end up losing to Atletico, it doesn't hurt us too much. But they are certainly the dominant force in this group. As this half has been dull as dishwater. You might think that dishwater gets a bad rap, but you'd never drink it, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't even bath in it ordinarily. Okay, assertively say, do I get angry? I feel like I should get angry. I'm far from pleased with this 0-0 shower of rubbish. I'm going to keep Miquelino in attacking areas as well as Mackay on both sides. I'm going to keep those boys up, doing a little more. And I'm actually going to bring Huddeldham into play as well. Not as defensive. I don't feel like we're under that much pressure, so we need these creative players to be a bit more succinct with one another. But once again, another game with no highlights. It's strange. We are on key, by the way. So, key highlights, we expect more. This is the final. Are they aware of this? This is the final year. And with Chelsea doing so well in the league, there's a fear that we won't be able to catch them. So we'll see how we get on against Southampton. As Huddeldham's free kick. I don't remember the last time we scored a free kick. So underwhelming every time. You've got to be aware of this number 8, who's in a little bit of open space there that we're not really marking all that well, as Van Dongen races forward. Their number 9, that was quite a good play actually. Calvo, did he tip it over? He did indeed. That was quite a good solo play from that man there. Nielsen is going to put the ball in. Van Dongen on the edge puts it in as well. Cleared, and Eriksen's going to bring this away. Is there a counter-attack for us? Maybe, as Mackay races forward. He's got a man in the middle if he can find him. It's going to have to be a very good cross. It's not this time. A very, very even game with us having slightly more possession. And, yeah, we're not really creating... Let's change something. Let's start working the ball into the box a little more. Getting it into Ben-Hur. Let's keep the possession smarter, essentially. I feel like recent games I've been sticking with what I know and I'm hoping they perform. And more often than not they do. But I'm thinking a change might be incoming as Microlino misses a gilt-edged chance. 20 minutes left. Ben-Hur on a 6.4. Fiore's coming on. I've got to. 20 minutes to go. Can we find... Oh, heavens. Ajax with a corner. Whipped in, and it's in. And Ajax take the lead. And that puts a spanner in the Champions League works. We've not been that good this year. We really haven't. We've been struggling in more often than not. As Ferreras gets replaced by Herzog, who's going to play a more attacking role as attacking midfielder. We need a turnaround and fast. Let's go a little more flexible and let's shout at them. Let's get creative out there. As time goes then, 10 seconds to go. We've got to score now, otherwise defeat to Ajax. And they've done us, to be honest. I've underestimated them hugely, as that's going to be that. And they are going to go into second position. And now we require Ajax to falter, as they've got a better head-to-head against us now as well. It's a disaster, viewers, is what it is. 2 shots on target. We're not seeing nearly enough from our boys. Not good enough. Like, shockingly bad, really. The trials and tribulations of this season. Southampton to come, and I keep saying this, but another bounce back moment needs to be had, because that is piss poor. We're lucky really that Atletico are beating Porto, so it keeps the group alive, but we are throwing this away a little bit. The 2 games against Ajax were supposed to be some of our easier games, and that means we have to beat Porto, and we probably have to get something out against Atletico, which is a nightmare. Hopefully they're already through though, and they take their foot off the gas a little bit. But not a good situation for us to be in, as we've got Southampton coming up. We'll rest the boys, and maybe some changes needed. I'm thinking, yes, there are to be needed. There are to be needed. Brilliant. Should I move the desk back? Is that a factor? Right then, we mentioned it before, but changes have to be made here. The question is though, what do you actually change? I feel like we miss another central midfielder to spice things up in the middle a little more. But I guess we have to take out Ferreira for a couple of games. He's not having as impactful a season as we expect, really. So Herzog's going to come in as the attacking midfielder, playing right in behind Ben-Hur then. There's not a massive, like much else we can actually change here. I mean, tactically, I'm going to work it into the box more and exploit the flanks a little less, and we'll just see if that makes any difference, getting the central players more involved. All right, then, into it we go. Southampton, the team are playing, as I mentioned, then 2nd versus 6th here, and I must win. I'm happy about the fact we've just lost to Ajax. I don't know what to do about it. I might write a formal letter of complaint to UEFA, but I don't think they'll care. Colclough then up front for Southampton. We know he's a danger. He's caused us problems in the past and is having a pretty good year this year. Right, we're at home now at Wembley Stadium, and there should be a good 50,000 or so packing in for this one. And we'll go passionate with the team talk. There's a lot more to come from you. I believe you've got what it takes. I believe it. Maybe they just don't think I believe it. Right then, are we going to have some highlights? Because that would be good. A lot of these games recently have been really boring. 20 minutes on the clock or so, and Southampton, the team with the ball, which makes me initially quite nervous. But if we win it back, I feel like on the break we could be quite dangerous, as Mackay does just that and finds Jimenez. Held him now in the centre, and Jimenez finds himself in some space. These two combining nicely in the middle, playing some 1-2s between the two of them. And Nelly plays it into Jimenez now. We've got to look for this run of Ben-Hur. He looks quite isolated up there on his own. As Herzog races forward, tries to find him, can't do so. Now Colclough plays forward young, and this is dangerous. They're in. Oh, they should have scored. Blimey, Charlie. Far too much stress right now as a Thames manager. We're competing on 2 fronts and struggling on both fronts. Despite being second, it feels like it's not been comfortable as Eriksen heads against the bar and it's cleared. Or gathered, I should say. It will have been eventually cleared, as there's another highlight. Mackay puts it into the centre, does he? He finds Diallo again on his left foot, finds Jimenez on the edge, across to Herzog, who's in the team today. Oh, Jimenez should have scored. He had a lot of time on the edge of the box. I think he hit it first time. He could have taken his time. 42 minutes gone, and a highlight just before half-time. Is this the moment we find ourselves a breakthrough, or is this going to be Southampton's chances? Well, a good challenge from Eriksen, actually. Giovanni at the back there. He goes forward towards Furtado. I mean, that is very neat and tidy, but a little bit risky, if you ask me, as Jimenez now finds Ben-Hur, who needs more support. The 2 wide players are very, very distant. Maybe we need to play a little narrower. in our formation. Well, they were very good in wide areas. It goes all the way back to their goalkeeper. And as we start another attack. But we do look a little bit not together, you know? I mean, Ben Hur's on it now. Shot comes in from him. Birdie with a save. We'll consider that at half-time. We're having a lot of possession at the moment. We're definitely the more dominant side. But if you don't score, it's a little bit like, well, whatever. I mean, Miquelino's on that right-hand side. Can we score now, maybe? No, challenged and cleared. I might play a little more narrow. Strong wind out there today at Wembley Stadium. Bear that in mind. Ben Hur is having a shocker. So is Miquelino. We're playing more narrow. That's going to be my tactical approach here. All right, we're going to go narrow. Not just really narrow. Okay, here we go. Let's give them a team talk as well. Let's put it up a minute. I mean, do we go for the calm approach? We're not doing badly. Continue to work hard. We'll win this. That's all I'm going with. Get out there and do it. Come on, boys. We need this. Like, it's getting very tight at the top, and Chelsea have already created a 5-point gap between ourselves and them. Not good. 41,000 at Wembley, which makes sense because that's about what they're building for. I mean, there's that temptation again to take off Ben Hur, and he's playing like this. You wonder if it's worth having him out there. But in reality, he's your main threat, isn't he? So you've got to keep him there. He's your goal scorer. As now, hopefully, then this more narrow system will allow us to combine a little more. As Ben Hur picks it up, and you can already see already, Miquelino's a little bit more inside, and it creates more problems for defenders. As Ben Hur and Herzog finds Mackay on that side. Oh, he went for goal, blimey. He's scored quite a few this year, more so than in previous years, it feels like. He's certainly on to score more anyway. And he went for goal there as another highlight. Can this be the breakthrough? Mackay finds Herzog. Ball into the middle. Miquelino at the sort of the near post. More central, actually, if anything. And finds the back of the net. Thames 1. Southampton 0. And with 20 minutes to go, we find ourselves in the lead. Do we bring on someone like Ferrer just to settle this down? I mean, look at the stats there. 24 shots for Thames. 2 for Southampton. If we didn't win this, I'd be disgusted. I mean, a good finish. We're going to come off attacking and go to a more standard approach. With 15 minutes to go, it's a bit of a hold-on job here. Colecloth's been taken off. That is a sign. Got a corner, though. They've done very little in the game. They've had 1 shot on target so far. Don't do this to me. As it sort of comes out to Herzog. And now, where's he going to go with it? If he runs it himself, I'm all for that, to be honest. He's quite quick, is Herzog. As he continues to drive with the ball forward, that is a dangerous, risky thing to do. As Jimenez finds Ben Hur, who's pulled out to this wider position. And since we've got a little more narrow, we do seem more connected. I don't know about you, but we certainly don't look as isolated as we did beforehand. Jimenez finds Herzog into Mackay, into Ben Hur to make it 2. Oh, and he should have done, I mean, yeah, he should have scored. I agree with you. My phone's gone ballistic. Ball played in. And really? 25 shots, 14 on target, 63% possession. If we don't win it... I don't like that. That's not nice. 50 seconds to go. All right, from 50 to 15 seconds to go, and this should probably be it. If they score now, I'm going to be, we've won the ball back. Everything is fine. Everything is normal. A 1-0 win. Not exactly comfortable. I guess the question is, are Southampton better than Ajax? They potentially are, but regardless, a very dominating display there. Thames 1, Southampton 0. And let's take a look at the league table. Well done, lads. Good win. Well done. Okay, let's have a look here then. Okay, then, league table-wise then, 27 points on the board for us. 30 for Chelsea, still 3 behind them. Of course, they've already won their game. Yeah, 3-1 over Middlesbrough. I mean, work to be done. We're very much in the conversation. There's a bit more split than it was last year. Remember, last year it was very, very close, whereas this year, 6 points ahead of Tottenham, already 11 games gone. So things are spreading out a little more. In the Champions League then, the next time we meet should potentially be tomorrow as we play Porto in that group game. Unless we do 2 group games back-to-back together, and the sort of the Premier League games are sort of just in between them all. I think we should do that maybe. Porto and Atletico tomorrow then. If you're looking forward to that, do drop a like. Want to see some more? Subscribe to the channel. And whatever with care, if you look to until next time. Goodbye. Thank you for all the suggestions about games to play on yesterday's video. I read them all. Appreciate that. It's coming soon.